Naomi Wu's 3D print mill here, otherwise known as the Creality CR30, it's going to emerge as the dominant, printer in this belt printer, 45-degree canted, genre. Just like the Ender 3, the Creality Ender 3 is the dominant printer in the Mendel space. So yeah, I mean, it's fun. It's awesome that this printer has come on the market. This is a fantastic bargain at $800. The other printers, which are definitely superior to this one, are not bargain printers. They're not budget printers. They are nicer, and you'll pay the premium for that. But this printer's introduction marks a shift in 3D printing to a feature set that we haven't had before. And the key to that feature set is the self-ejecting ability of this machine. So up until now, everybody's been highlighting the ability of this printer to make multiple copies. So copy after copy after copy just rolls off the end, the front of the printer. But it doesn't have to be exact copies. It doesn't have to be like a plastic injection mold machine that produces the same part again and again. The amazing thing about a 3D printer is it makes constantly variable parts, whatever you want. So part after part after part can roll off the front of this bed, every one of them being distinctly different from the last one, which gives us the ability to set this thing in a corner and send prints to it and never have to touch it, except to make sure that the filament doesn't run out. That's the only thing you would ever have to do to this printer, really, which is pretty awesome, pretty awesome. And because that ability exists, we should be able to connect this printer to a website, right? And let's just imagine this website. It's got a CAD program, so, built into the website. So, just your everyday Joe can go to the website and design a part in 3D and send it to be printed. But instead of having to touch a slicer program and learn all the ins and outs of getting slicer, settings to work for him, he can just send it, the geometry that he made, he can just say print and it will print it. And it will self-eject just like the paper comes out of your paper laser printer, right? That's the dream. And wow, if I had thought of that, you bet that I'd be paying a programmer right now to start to make that feature set, even though I have no idea how to make something that complicated happen. Thankfully, Mike Molinari with Autodrop has already done it for us. And we're going to jump on the computer. I'm going to show you exactly what Mike's 3D or Autodrop3d.com website can accomplish with this printer. And then after that, we're going to have a nice teleconference with Mike. You guys are gonna, get to sit in with me on the teleconference where Mike taught me how to set up this printer with his website. So it wasn't very difficult, and this printer, this video is going to be one of my longer ones, like an hour long. But when it's all said and done, you should be able to set up Autodrop, the web-based auto slicing firmware or whatever, onto any printer that you own. It doesn't have to be a self-ejecting printer. This is just kind of the magic printer to use it with. And you know what? You'll be able to charge people. So anybody wants to print something on your 3D printer, they can just go onto the website, put the STL there, or draw up the file like I said, and put a credit card in, and you'll get paid. So if you know people that are constantly hounding you to print things for them, this is how you make it happen, guys. So let's jump into it on the computer. All right, let's kick this off by going to Autodrop3d.com, and you can click the cloud login right here at the top, and it will prompt you to log in or create an account. It's that easy. And once you've done that, this is more or less what you're going to look at. I've clicked on the parts item in the menu, and that's brought up a list of the parts which I've previously uploaded to Autodrop. Now, if I wanted to make a part, I would click on this new part button right there at the top. And in fact, this part right here is one that I made using that Parametric modeler. Very, very cool stuff. So definitely worth experimenting with. But in this case, I want to upload an STL that's already on my computer. Like, let's say I went to Thingiverse and downloaded an STL, which is exactly what I've done. See, let me drag and drop this 3D Benchy. And once that's uploaded, you can click Create Order, and then you would choose your location. So keep in mind that this interface that you're seeing me click through, this is the user interface. So this is what people who would be paying you to use your printer would be seeing. So they could choose a location, or most likely you'll have it set up like I do, where it's local to the building. This is all going through my Wi-Fi router here. And then the user would see the price here. So currently I don't have my printer charging me to print with, but they enter in credit card information, and this would be where they would approve the estimate, the cost estimate for their print. Click on approve order, and then okay. Once that's going, you can hit the little refresh icon here, and it should update everything, including a photograph every 20 seconds or so of the print as it's happening. So the user from a far distance, like let's say they're working at home and they send you a print through the internets, they can see the print happening in almost real time, and they'll know when the print is finished. So yeah, this is really cool stuff. Now I need to mention, first of all, that this is kind of like in beta mode. Now it's certainly usable, and I think Autodrop's using it at their local makerspace to run the 3D printers there without issue. So they're actually having far fewer problems with the users breaking the printers using this system. And the second thing that I want to tell you guys is that it's free. It is open source firmware software, which is free to use now. I think that Autodrop makes their money because they get a percentage of the money that you charge customers for using the printer. So that's how they're earning their keep for developing this awesome software. So I'm really excited for this, and I think that it has great potential going forward to make 3D printing that much more accessible to people who don't want to spend a bunch of time building their own printer, or they don't want to spend $1,000 to buy a Western made printer, or they don't want to spend a bunch of time learning slicer software. They just want to send a print. They just want to press print and they want it to work. So let me introduce you guys to the CEO of Autodrop, and you can watch him teach me how to install this software, and you can learn by proxy and just follow along and try this free software out for yourself. Hello everyone, this is Mike Molinari that you see on your screen here, and he's going to help me out with the professional installation of Autodrop, which is an awesome bit of software that goes onto your Raspberry Pi. And in fact, from what I understand, Mike, you've just now recently got it working with Octoprint.
Yeah, so we used to have our own G-code sender, and we just did a plugin for Octoprint, hopefully making it so that it's easier for people to get started. Autodrop3d is like a web-based cloud platform for 3D printers. And if you have one of these fancy new belt printers, whether it's the CR30 or the iFactory or any number of the other printers that are coming out, you should be able to hook it up directly to our cloud. And if you want to, you can actually monetize your printer by setting prices for your filament and putting it onto the public map.
Huh. Sweet. So, the dream, right? Making money from your 3D printer.
It's a money printing factory. That's what
there we go.
About it as.
Okay, so what do I need to do to get it installed? I've got the website here to Octoprint going, and I've got an SD card in my computer here ready to flash or whatever that is that I need to do.
Yeah, so we're going to basically follow the instructions on the Octoprint website. If you go to download there.
Timeout. This video is going to be pretty long as it stands, so I'm going to remove this section about how to install Octopi onto your Raspberry Pi. There's a user guide to doing it right there on the octoprint.org website, or Chris's Basement recently did a guide as well. So there's videos and write-ups about how to accomplish this task all over the internet, very recent ones from just like last week. So you don't need to get the information here. You can get it elsewhere. This video is going to focus on getting Autodrop installed as a plugin to Octoprint. And we're in.
Okay. So what we're going to do before actually getting into setting things up on the Octoprint side, we're going to go over to the Autodrop3d website. Okay. We're going to go to autodrop3d.com. and cloud login. Okay, go ahead and log in or create a new user account. Did you put spaces in your username?
Yes.
Yeah, get those out.
Underscores are okay?
Maybe, I don't know. Try eliminating the spaces.
Underscores do not work. It's a nice animation you got there.
Yeah, and since this is the first time you logged in, just go and click on that Autodrop logo in the top corner. And that's going to refresh the page so that we have everything all set up for you. Okay. So at this point, what you can do is you can go under Organization on the left-hand side. So organization is where you're going to do your entire setup for your printer. This is where you're going to set up your location, which is like the place which it can have more than one printer at the same location. And it's where you're going to set up your slicing profile. And your slicing profile can actually be used on multiple different machines. So basically, let's go to the first one. Let's go to locations and set that up. That's the tabs up at the top. Yep. And hit create new. So yeah, you have to put in a name for your location.
Okay, what's next?
Okay. If you wanted to have a pin actually show up on the map, you would put in your lat and long, but since you don't want to actually make this a public location, we're not going to turn on any of those options.
Okay.
So over on the right-hand side, do you see where it has the material name?
Yeah.
So go ahead and hit plus at the top there for that. And you're going to enter in a material name. So you can call this like yellow PLA or red PLA, whatever it is. And now you want to set your price, your internal price to 0 and your external price to 0, just so that we have some numbers in there. And you want to set it as available for any. So yeah, just double click on that and it should bring it into the checkbox.
And
okay.
What's this one do?
That's going to be to delete it.
Okay.
So on that next table, right next to it, where it says machine type, hit the little plus at the top there for that. And this is going to be an FDM machine. So there we are. Go ahead and save that location.
Where's the save button? Oh, there it is, bottom left.
And let's go over to CAM profiles. It's the tab at the top. Create new. And you see where it has the import from template? Change the drop down to you can use the Creality CR30. I don't know how well this profile is going to work, but hit import. And just search right now in there. There's a little problem with this file. Just hit Control F and type in zip. Yeah, so get rid of the P there because it's supposed to say zigzag for the infill. So this basically is all of the Cura settings, and you can modify those basically for setting your layer heights and all that kind of fun stuff.
Okay, so save this.
And change the machine type where it has the machine type field. Just put in all caps belt. And save that. There we are. So now go over to devices at the top and create a new device. Okay. So you're going to put in the name of your device. It's already selected that location in that profile because that's the only one you have there.
Does it matter for spaces and whatnot on this?
No. This is you can put in whatever you want because every device gets a unique ID anyway. Go down to where it says select material, the little button next to that, and pick your yellow PLA. You're going to put your size limits for your bed here, 200 by 170.
Yep, by Infinite Z.
Yeah, so you'll have to put in a limit on that, and I recommend 1,000 for now.
1,000. Let's go with 2,000 in case I want to print a sword.
And scroll down a little bit to where it has the start G code and the end G code.
Yep.
You should be able to grab your start and end G code off of one of the pre-sliced files from Creality. I think line 43 is where it kind of really starts. Okay, so you're gonna copy up until line 84 and put that in for your start G code. And now go back in there and go to your end G code, so all the way to the bottom, and just copy that. We are going to have some profiles in there to make this all work with these printers out of the box. for now, it's just a little bit of a manual process to put this in. So go
Gotcha.
ahead and hit save on this. Oh, and you have to set one more thing, the printer API key. So that's going to be like a password for your printer. It's right under machine type.
Machine type. There we go. Printer. There we are. So
Yep.
just make anything up.
Yeah, and you're going to have to type this into your printer. So whatever it is, it's fine.
Okay.
Okay. Now save that and then scroll to the top on this page so you can see the ID. So up there, you see the ID number?
Yep.
That's what we're going to grab a little bit later.
In the gray or in the...
In the gray. Yep. So now, before you copy that, because we can't do anything with that yet, we should install the Octoprint plugin.
Okay.
So go back to the Autodrop3d website, the homepage, and go over to open source and go to Octoprint plugin. It should have a GitHub page. And you just install it using that that string there. So go down and see where it says setup and it has that link.
So I got to copy and paste that.
Yeah, you're going to copy that whole link and go back over to your Octoprint installation. That's the third tab. Yep. And hit the little wrench icon on the top. Scroll down to where it has Plugin Manager on the left. Yep. And scroll down in this window all the way to the bottom. Keep on going. Oh, okay. Get more. And yes, so do from URL. That box. Yep. And hit install.
It's the button doesn't seem to be...
Octoprint is running on... The system Octoprint is running on is currently throttled. Due to that, it's not... That's weird. See that error message up at the top?
Yeah, I do see that.
So this is where you have to go in and go to it via SSH. The plugin won't install without it. Yeah, if you go to Google and type in Octoprint Python 3. Yep, there we are. It might have been easier just to install the beta version, you know? So stay on this website and bring up your command prompt onto your screen. Okay, so you're going to put in SSH space PI at the IP address for your Raspberry Pi. So that's going to be like 192.168. If you look at the Octopi tab, it'll tell you
128.
Yep. And hit yes. Type in yes. Okay, and the password is going to be raspberry.
Oh, it's not showing up.
Yeah, it's not going to show up.
RASPBERRY.
Yep.
That's it. Enter.
Yep. And it should. Yeah. Okay. So you're connected. Okay. So now you see step 2 on that page where it says curl, and then it has like a command. Copy that whole line of text and paste it into the terminal.
Right click. What just happened?
It just did it.
Oh, I didn't even paste. I just right clicked.
Yeah, just hit enter on that one because this one also has to run. There's 2 commands that it's doing there. Enter to continue. So basically it downloaded a little script off the internet and then it's running it to do this upgrade. Do a sudo reboot now, all lowercase. Okay, so now go back over to the Octoprint user interface and it should, if you hit that button, it should try to reconnect. It might take a second on this first reboot.
There we go.
Yeah, so go ahead and go up to your settings area and copy over that URL and do the plugin install. Yep, that's the correct one.
That's the one we want. Okay, and then go back to here and then go to settings. Where was that?
All the way at the top, a little wrench icon. And yep, go down to plugin manager, get more, and enter in the URL. So just paste that in and install. There we are. Okay, and you see that prompt that popped up in the top right? Hit that. Yep, proceed. Okay, and you can attempt to reconnect. It should be pretty quick this time because it just rebooted the, it didn't reboot the whole operating system, it just restarted the server. So, yeah, attempt to reconnect or just hit refresh on the page. I don't know, maybe hit that button again. Oh, there we are.
Look at that. We got a little Autodrop logo there now. How cool is that?
Yeah, so go up to the settings icon again. And you're going to look for Autodrop under plugins on the left. So it should be down, down, down. Yep. There we are. So if you go back over to the Autodrop website, that page. So yeah, so you're going to copy your ID. And paste that in under ID. And for the API key, that's the API key you set earlier. And this is an auto-ejecting capable machine, so check that off and hit save. And now the only thing you have to do is the little Autodrop logo right next to it, there's a toggle. That little toggle button, just hit that and turn it back on. Now, if we go back over to the Autodrop website, go to devices, the tab, and it's green. There you are. So you're connected. So let's go over to your parts section here. And if you have an STL file, go ahead and hit choose file. I'd recommend just picking a small one for this little demo. You can either just drag and drop the file in here, or you can go to choose file.
Let's do choose file.
So the button at the top. Yep, hit OK. There we are. Okay, so basically at this point, you can verify that everything's sliced nicely by going over to the G-code preview.
G-code preview.
Yeah, and give it a second. So if you zoom in, you can see that it's sliced nicely. By default, it shows it with a raft. So if you swivel it a little bit, yeah, you can see there's the part, and those are all the little tool paths.
That is quite a raft.
Yeah, this is a generic
1, 2, 3,
file.
4. That's like a 20, 30 line, 30 layer thick raft.
Yeah, but it's a grid, so it doesn't actually. It's not.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
And that's actually, we use that a thinner version of that for our auto ejecting printers by default. Okay. Something else that you can do is if you go up to editor, give it a second to load here. You can actually manipulate it if you really want to in here.
Oh, that's cool.
Well, if you don't hit save, it won't save. So if you just go to another tab, like the part details, you're fine.
So that's just like a blender. That's like a mesh modeler. That's really cool.
Yeah, this is a piece of open source software called Sculpt GL. So we just integrated it in because why not? It makes it easy.
Yeah.
And it has a whole bunch of tools. It's got its own whole, set of things that you have to learn. But yeah, if you go back over to part details, you can hit create order. Now we only expose out a couple of settings here. So you have your infill percentage and support material on or off. In this case, you can run with the defaults and just hit that create order. And it tells you approximately how long it's going to print. Keep in mind, these are estimates. They are not numbers that are set in stone.
So how do we get rid of the raft?
So it's not actually going to print on a raft for the belt printer, I don't think.
Ah, okay.
And if
Okay.
you can manage that under your organization settings, because it's a one profile that you use. It's not all super customizable. But
Gotcha.
that prevents people from accidentally doing things that they'll regret.
Right. Okay.
So yeah,
So
just go ahead and create order.
where's that
Little
button?
shopping. Just under
right.
part details. It's the very first button, the big green button
Oh,
in the
there
corner.
we go. Yeah.
Yep. And yep. And you can enter in a quantity if you wanted to, but in this particular case, you can just hit create order.
Oh, because it can print multiples because the belt will just move itself down the line.
Yeah. Or if you had a print farm with 10 printers, it would actually spin up every printer at the same time if you printed 10.
Nice.
You know?
Okay, so here, wow, that's great functionality too. Okay, so here we have, I'll just do 2 just so we can see if it.
Yep, create order. And right now it's telling you the price. If you had it set up so that it would charge, it would show you a price here. But you don't have to do that, and you can just hit approve. Also, here it would tell you whether there's any errors with your order, like if the files were too big to fit on any of the printers at the target location.
Okay.
So
I can just
hit
click
approve order and hit OK. Hit OK. And one of them's already on the machine.
Okay, let me go load the filament in the machine. Okay, so I looked at the machine just now, and the display, so the Marlin display, is not showing me that the printer is heating up, like the bed's not heating and the nozzle isn't heating. So does that mean that Octoprint is running, in the background and I just can't see it?
Go back over to your Octoprint tab.
Nothing.
Oh, it's not connected. Check off Auto Connect on server startup. There we are. Okay. Yeah, you have to have it so that your printer auto connects at server startup for the Octopi.
Can I do that now, or is it too late to do that?
Well, it's too late now because you're already printing.
Okay.
And you'd have to cancel the print, and it's kind of a pain.
Yeah, we'll do it again next time.
You can see the little bar graph moving over there.
I do. It looks great. Yeah, that graphic of that octopus is just so distracting to me. I'd love it if it was just clean.
Well, you can install a CSS add-on, which will let you tweak any part of the page you want. There's people who have all sorts of different themes for this thing. You can do. There's lots of stuff you can do with Octoprint. Something else you can do in my start G code, I always normally tweak it a little bit so that it heats up the bed and the hot end at the same time.
Yeah, I do that. I do that a lot. But with some printers, I find that the power supply isn't up to the task. And so you want to get the bed up to temperature, and then you're just holding a temperature, which isn't as demanding on the power supply. And then I heat up the nozzle.
Yeah, any machine that has 120 going straight to the bed, though, you can do that on it. There we are. So now it's heating the nozzle, and that goes up pretty quick. And it should print out your object.
Awesome. So can I log in to the Autodrop website from a phone?
Yes. Yep.
So theoretically through through Android on my phone, Google phone or whatever, I could go to Thingiverse, download an STL file, open up the Autodrop, and then put the STL file from my phone, and it'll automatically slice it and charge whoever sent that the correct amount of money.
Yeah, if you have your printer set up as public, yes.
Okay. Fantastic. Really cool stuff.
It's kind of fun. So we developed this software because at the makerspace we had a whole bunch of people who were using the 3D printers, and we had 3 3D printers, and they were always broken. We would train people how to use them, but inevitably I was always in there fixing them.
Hold on, let me go look at the machine. It's starting to print. Well, it's doing that thing where it prints in the air, and this happened to me before. I needed to home the machine when I turned it on. So,
Oh,
I gotta,
well, let's go back over to your G code. So let's go to the Autodrop website.
I gotta cancel this print first. So pause this print here in Octoprint. I can just pause this. Is that right?
Yeah, hit pause rather than cancel, because if you hit cancel, it's going to start the next job automatically.
Okay. So it's been
Um,
paused. Now
yeah,
go
so
over.
yeah, let's go back over to the Autodrop website. Autodrop, yeah, and go to organization, devices, and yep, hit that. Go to your start G code, and
I don't know why there's not a G28 in there. There should be a
yeah,
G28 in there.
yeah, scroll down. Let's see. Yeah, I would just throw a G28 at the very beginning. That should solve it. It's got to be caps though. So.
Yeah, there's capped.
And you might want to put one of those at the end also.
For the ending script.
Yeah, just at the beginning of the ending script. Save that. We should have these preset very soon, so
Okay.
it should show up as an option to pick one from the list of printer templates.
Okay. So now go back to here, restart.
Yeah, you can well, restart's not going to download the G-code file again. This is going to reprint what's already downloaded.
So I'll just cancel this and then cancel the next one too.
No, the next one should be fine. So go ahead and hit cancel. Yes, cancel the print.
Hold on.
And it's going to ask you whether or not you cleared the bed. Just
hold on.
yes.
Let me go. I'm going to go clear it. It does have some schmoo on it.
Yeah.
All right. Clicked yes. And
Yeah, it should download a new file and start printing very soon. So if you go back over to the Autodrop3d website.
so the most annoying thing to me about Marlin, every time you cancel a job, it turns all the heaters off. So I love that. I love with my Duet, and I'm sure that there's a way to change it on Marlin, but it's just so annoying. Cancel a job, and then it's working on it. You're going to start the job again, but you got to wait for the printer to get back up to temperature again. Ugh.
Yeah, it's a safety feature.
Yeah, it's a stupid safety feature.
I'll tell you what. Let's try doing something here. Check off the auto connect on server startup just so that we get that out of the way.
Okay.
See the little checkbox?
Hold on a second. Okay. Back to now my face is on the thing. Okay, back to the auto connect on server startup right there. Connect.
Yeah, and hit connect. See whether that works. Okay, and now go to the Autodrop website and just click on those two lines where it says status. Yep. Click on that. And click on the other one also. The other, yep. And do bulk update. And tell it to restart those. So those are back and approved, and theoretically, it should start heating up your Pi. If it's not, you can reboot the Pi at the top. So up at the top, you see where it has that little power button icon? Yeah, hit that and do restart Octoprint. Yeah. If you go back over to the Autodrop3d site, you can hit refresh on that and see whether it's picked up any of those jobs. See a little refresh in the corner?
No, up here?
The green button. Yeah. Okay, so it's just waiting.
Auto connect on server startup, but it didn't do it. It's asking me to connect.
Go up to where it says serial port.
Yep.
Hit that drop down and pick the yep. And hit save connection settings and connect. See whether that works. It should close up that section if it's able to successfully connect. Otherwise, you might have to unplug your USB cable and plug it back in. I don't know why it wouldn't work.
So do a hard reboot without any power. Hard
Well,
reset.
no, not on the actual Pi. Just unplug the USB cable going to the printer and plug it back in.
Okay, I'll go do that. Yeah, the printer had an M112 printer halted. Please reboot.
Oh, yeah, that'll do it. Yeah, go ahead and hit connect on here, and it should connect right up.
Well, how come it didn't do the save connection?
Because it didn't successfully connect. So just don't worry about that. Just hit connect, and it should work. There we are. And now, give it a little bit of time. See, it started, and it's already running.
Okay.
So like 99.999% of the time, all you're going to ever have to do is once in a while reboot the printer if there's a problem. I don't typically reboot my printers unless something came up, and they'll run for weeks and weeks and weeks without having to be rebooted.
Nice. So you were telling me this project started because at the makerspace you were having to fix the printers every day.
Yeah, so at the makerspace we had to fix the printers like at least every week, and it ended up being me who was fixing the printers. And I said, you know what, there's got to be a better way. The best way I could think of to eliminate the printers from getting broken all the time was to make it so that we didn't have people touching them. And it worked. We set it up with an automatic ejector, and we did a web-based user interface so that people could send their models and get them sliced and then printed, and that worked pretty well. And then we redid the entire system from scratch on a clean build, because we initially developed it as kind of like part of a makerspace management solution that we were working on. But then we separated it out into its own thing and added in the CAD and added in, the mesh modeler and all sorts of other kind of cool features. And it's really set up so that you can run a lot of equipment off it.
Nice. Hey, looking at this, it's not heating up.
What's the printer say?
Let's go look at it. But I also see this little print button right here. I don't need to click that though. Hold on, let me go look at the printer.
You know what? Hey,
printer says the same thing.
Yeah, so there isn't any job started. So up at the top, you see where the little Autodrop logo is next to that toggle? Hit the toggle and just toggle it on and off. It might have detected that it was not working and just didn't start back up. There we are. So now it should fetch a job and actually start printing it. Give it a little bit of time.
There we go. Yeah. Do I need to click OK or just let that go?
No, you don't have to.
Okay. Yeah, there we go. Temperature's going up. Okay, cool.
So you have it in auto ejecting mode. So auto ejecting mode makes it so that you don't have to actually hit any buttons to continue the next print.
Very cool. It's fully up to temperature. Extruder heating. There we go. And the print is starting. Now, is this going to print flat on the bed, or is it going to...
Yeah, it's going to print flat on the bed.
Okay, sweet.
The orientation that's in the thumbnail is the orientation that's going to print in.
Okay.
And you can tweak that. If you're on the part page, if you go back over to where the part is, you can change the orientation and all that. So if you go to parts on the left, yeah, you can go back in there, and like if you wanted to rotate it on the X axis, you could just change the actually you probably want to rotate around Z. So you see where it says Z rotation there?
Yep.
Just change that to 90. Hit save and you'll see how it changes it.
Okay.
Hit the part details tab. It might just not have updated.
So what I want to do is do 0. And about the x-axis, I want to go 45. Yeah, it's giving me, why is the red? It's like an error. I rotated it.
It's just the reflection of the light.
Ah, gotcha. Now there's no way to get in there and zoom around there, is there?
Not really.
How do I do that preview again?
For the G code,
Yeah.
the tab up the top.
Oh, G-code preview. Yeah, that's what I want to see. Yeah, look at that.
Yeah, so the support will be different on the belt printer, but yeah, that should work.
Yeah, this is slicing for a normal. Yeah.
Yeah. If you go up to the top and you hit default G code, that drop down that says like default, the little drop down, down.
There
There we are. Yep. That's the actual G code that just went to that printer. That one that has like the weird ID.
Okay.
So that matches the ID of the print profile. So if you change it to say the other one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So click on the other one. So this is what it's actually printing right now.
Nice.
And it's so weird because it's skewed.
Yeah, skewed for the 45 print. Yeah, 45 degree print. Yeah, that's going to be a fun one to get that preview working for you. Lots of work still to do, but man, the functionality is so cool.
Yeah, so I mean, you can easily tell that this is going to be a belt print.
Yeah, that's true. And this will work on any printer then, huh? Any printer with an Octopi setup.
Yeah.
All right, Michael, this is working. It's awesome. Yeah, is there anything else before we end this?
Yeah, I mean, we can show off the parametric 3D modeling we have built into the system. I know that you're not big on parametric 3D modeling, but it is pretty cool.
All right, yeah, let's look at it.
Okay, so let's go over to parts.
Yep.
And hit new part at the top, big green button. And you can put in a name for this, like, parametric modeling is the bestest, or whatever. Okay, so you see where it says modeling type right under part properties?
Part properties, yes, modeling type.
Yep. So
modeling method
from mesh. See where it says mesh? Yep, change that to JSketcher. And hit save. Okay, so now go up to Editor tab. Give it a little bit to load. This is actually a full parametric 3D modeler that runs inside your web browser. So
fantastic. That's so cool.
Okay, so let's start off here. You can go ahead and create a plane. So hit the plane command.
Let me get the mouse commands down first. Okay, so Alt does something.
No, it's right click, left click, and middle click for doing different things. So if you use middle click,
zooms in and out.
Yeah, if you use right click, I think it pans.
Yeah, and then left click rotates around. Okay. And is there a quick recenter button here somewhere?
We can, if you go down to where it says views.
Down here at the bottom?
Yeah, change that. Views. Yeah, change that to the three-way view just so you can get an isometric. There we are.
There we go. Okay.
So go ahead and hit plane and hit OK. That's fine for now. Now click on the plane just to highlight it. There we are. And now go into sketch at the top.
One of these is going to be a sketch.
Yeah, right there. So now you can go ahead and just draw a rectangle in there.
How about?
Yeah, and if you click on one of the lines, see that toolbar that pops up in the right-hand corner? So you can tell it that you want to set the length on that. And it's going to ask you for a number, so maybe type in like 50 or something.
Oops, that's weird.
hit apply. There we are. And now you can do like another line. You can just click on another line. And you can set the length on that. Oh, you got to click in. Yeah. You see that little photo up there? The little photo icon on the toolbar at the top? Yeah, that one. Hit that. That brings you back in flat to the view, right? So you can click and drag that around for the items that are in the sketch. You can click and drag like a point if you want.
I'm not used to this interface. I keep using the
Rhino keys.
yeah.
It's okay. You can drag it while it's not flat, you know? Like you
Yeah.
can move it around.
It's just hard for me to...
But as soon as
So
you're
I've got
done,
a point selected.
yeah, you
It's
can
like...
click and drag it and it'll update. So if you zoom out, hold down your shift key.
Yep.
And click on the center point of the actual sketch itself. So you see those two axes? Yep. And now you see how it changed what that toolbar is, that floating little window up there?
Up here at the top right.
Yeah, so if you hit coincident, it locks it in. So now this sketch is actually fully constrained.
Right, nice.
So go ahead and hit the little green.
What is this program? You didn't program this whole thing, did you?
So one of the guys who's part of the company, I noticed that he was making a piece of CAD software, and I was actually looking for a two-dimensional sketcher at the time to try to kind of cobble together my own. But he had already built a two-dimensional sketcher and a 3D modeler on it, and talked to him, and we got together, and it's been full steam ahead ever since, getting this thing really nice.
So is this open source? This is going to be free. This is available to everybody. What is this?
So the JSketcher itself is it's AGPL3, and it's available under a dual license. So you can download the open source version and do whatever you want to it if you want to. So you're not necessarily locked in with us, right? So you can design your stuff in here, and you have the ability to export it out and use it locally if you want.
Okay. Wow. So basically, anybody who's getting into the hobby could get on your website, draw the shapes that they want, and this looks better to me than like what's that, FreeCAD? No, not FreeCAD. The Tinkercad. This looks better than Tinkercad to me.
Well,
so
yeah, Tinkercad's a toy.
Yeah, so you could start doing actual 3D designing on this better than Tinkercad, and then without even having to touch a slicer, you can send it wirelessly to your printer, and it's just going to start printing for you.
Absolutely. So if you go up and you hit that green check mark up at the top toolbar,
yep,
the very first icon. Okay, and now
hold on. I think I'm skipping around. Whoa, I pressed escape. That was interesting. What if I hit?
Yeah. So go down to views and go back to your three-way view. This is the isometric. Yep. So that right there, you're looking at it in 3D now. So go ahead and hit extrude at the top. And since you had that sketch already selected, now you can change that number to whatever you want for that distance. And now you have something. So now go ahead and click on like one of the faces on there. And go ahead and hit sketch. We're just gonna put a hole through here.
Yeah.
So go ahead and just draw a circle. Yeah, so you got to click once and then click again.
It's an ellipse.
Maybe yeah, you can drag those points around a little bit if you want to adjust them. Yeah. And if you're comfortable just eyeballing it in, you can leave it like that. You can actually always go back into a sketch later and edit it, which is kind of nifty. But yeah, if you hit the checkbox on that to say that you're done, now go ahead and do a cut. I don't know what
Interesting.
the heck happened here.
It's because I had it off on an angle somehow. I don't know. I'm really good at breaking things.
Oh, okay. Well, you know what?
It
You
did
know
it at
what?
a
Just
strange angle. That's
hit,
what happened.
yeah, just hit OK. Let's see what we get.
Oh, it's not going to be good.
Yeah, hit cancel on that.
Let's
Okay,
try
go
that.
ahead and click on that face again and go into sketch and
Yes.
just delete that shape out of there. I don't know whether ellipse is working. It might not be.
Okay.
Yeah, so just draw in a circle. And yeah, hit the checkbox up there. And just now do a cut on that. Hit OK.
It's not going all the way through.
Oh, you can change the depth then.
Okay.
And hit OK.
There we are.
So you got an object right there. Now, if you go up to that save icon in the top right-hand corner.
Yep. Over here. Oh, there we go. Yep.
Yep. Yeah, we got a little bit of UI stuff to do to kind of.
That's okay. You gotta learn how to use every program. So click that.
Yep. Hit OK. And now go over to part details.
Over here somewhere.
At the top, the tab.
Oh, there we go.
So there's your part.
Yeah, so it beeped at me because it dinged at me while I was drawing that because it finished the print. So let me go look at the bed with my phone here for just a second. I'll be right back. Yeah, there's the first one, and it's printing the second one. So I'm just going to peel this off. And it says Autodrop for the win. Yeah, it came out beautiful. Great little film. So yeah, and it popped off the raft really well. It popped off the raft really cleanly. So yeah, good job, Michael.
Yeah, the support software that is built into this is amazing. So if you actually print out a Benchy, you can actually print it out and with support enabled and pull it off, and it's beautiful.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, Kira does have pretty good supports.
Well, so it's so the actual support software is not part of Cura itself. So this is a misconception right now with a lot of the belt slicing stuff, is that it's just Cura with some tweaks. It's not really. It's a hack on top of Cura. So there's a pre-processor, there's a post-processor for the G-code. There's something that like skews the model and then actually builds the support prior to it being sliced. So the only thing that really Cura is doing is slicing it. It's not actually doing all that other support material and everything else. That's kind of just like merged into the STL before it slices it.
Gotcha. Okay, well, I'm sure this video has stretched out quite a while and everybody has seen just what an amazingly functional project you're working on. I think everybody should go and play with this. Yeah, this is really cool. This is cutting edge stuff. I really do think that, especially for beginners or anybody doing some sort of a maker space, hacker space, communal 3D printer setup, this is the way to go. So big thank you to Michael for setting this up and for showing us how to use it.
If you go up to where that little bell icon is at the top.
Yep.
If you click that, so right now you don't have a camera installed on your Pi, but if you did, you would see a picture of your print there.
Okay.
Which makes it easy so that, somebody could check to see whether their print came out all nice.
Right. Wow. Very cool. Very cool. Well, hey, big thank you, Michael. See you next time. That's going to do it. Thanks for watching. Big thank you to my Patreon supporters, these guys. And also, I've got those executive producers. You guys mean a lot to me, and I'm very thankful for you guys as well. So yeah, this was just an awesome functionality that I didn't expect to be showcasing. This was not a planned video, not one of the things that I've had on my plate for a long time, just something that kind of popped up and I thought it was so interesting. I really wanted to share it with you guys. So thank you for watching. See you next time.